How's everyone doing? Hey, Rich and Julia, how are you guys? Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm sorry, I can hear you fine. You couldn't hear me.
Oh, now I can hear you. How about you, Richard? How are you, Rich?
He's muted as
You
well.
are freezing. That's why. Oh, he's muted? Okay.
Appears, yeah.
Richard, you're muted. Unmute. So how you been doing, Julia?
Oh, fine.
Nana's here?
I went to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden to the
Good.
gate.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Did you go? Have you gone yet?
Didn't get a chance to go. I meant to stop by. I didn't get a chance. You know.
I'm going on Tuesday. How was it?
You went on Tuesday? Or you go,
I'm going on Tuesday, so
and then I still have a chance to catch it because I was away for about a week on Thanksgiving, so that was the time to do it. So I'll try to catch it before they close. Absolutely.
It was, you walked the whole length of the garden.
Ah,
yeah.
that's something to look forward to.
And some of the exhibits are quite delightful, and other ones are sort of like, really?
Yeah.
You know, they plastic ferns.
Mhm.
I don't want to see plastic anything in the garden. But the exhibit by the water was just, it was mesmerizing. We sat there forever. It was like,
Beautiful, beautiful.
and then, you know, because I said, oh, you know, when it repeats, we'll go. And it never repeats.
Oh, that's the Japanese garden part?
Japanese garden?
In front of the what is the greenhouse?
Reflecting pools?
Yeah, there's two pools. There are two reflecting pools. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's amazing. You should sit so that you can see both of them, because we just looked at one, and then if you sit and see both of them, it's even more spectacular.
Ah.
But it never repeats. I mean, I sat there for what seemed like 20 minutes.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't repeat.
What time did you get
I
there?
am you're muted.
We're the last, so we were
Oh.
there. They literally locked us in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
It was funny because they didn't know how to let us out. And we were like, so we're really locked in. It's like, well, you should be. I said, somebody come in with a key. And then someone in my group said, I'll show you how to get out. You can't get in this way. There's an old subway kind of door.
Mhm.
So it's a turnstile. You can get
Yeah.
out that way, but you can't
Yeah.
get in.
I see. Up by Eastern Parkway.
On Eastern Parkway, yeah. So that's how we finally got out. But it was
Mhm.
a little dicey for a minute.
Did you try any of the drinks or refreshments or anything?
No,
No.
that they were giving out hot chocolate.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I was at the Brooklyn Museum last night. They had a staff party.
Oh,
It was one of the most fun parties I've been to in a while. They had
Oh,
a really live band, you know, the staff is very broad, you know, it's like from security guards to volunteers to, you know, to executives of all the rest. But people were dancing hard, you know, raucously.
yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I haven't done that in a while.
We used to have tango parties there, and
Uh-huh.
their floor is just perfect for dancing. Oh, with that rotunda.
Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, that,
Yeah.
yeah, I know which one you mean. You're in the, what's called the Beaux Art area, yeah.
Yeah.
This
So where
is
was your party at?
in the front section where the glass covered, you know, where they
Oh,
replaced the steps.
yes. I've been to a party there as well.
Yeah, they had some, you know, they have the Rodin statues over there too.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun because they're, you know, it's like Rodin's posing and everyone's going, Rodin is there too.
Yeah, that's an excellent place to have a party at. Yeah.
It is. That's one thing nice about the museum is it's tries to be anyway, accessible, you know, to the public. People really got to keep their radars out and get in there, but it's, you know, they have they used to have, I don't know if they still do it, the first Saturdays.
Did they stop
Yeah.
that? I've been to a couple of them.
Yeah,
Well, the problem with the first Saturdays, I explain this to people. I say, it's a victim of its own success. It is a mob scene.
Mm,
Can't get a small child in
Yes.
there
yeah,
because it's just packed.
yeah,
And the only way to make it work for you is go with the first hour that they, so if they say that it starts at 4, go at 4.
yeah, good point.
But
I
anything
think,
after that,
you know, COVID has put a damper on that for at least a year and a half anyway, yeah.
yeah. But you know, the other thing is other museums have totally stepped up. The Barnes Museum in Philadelphia,
Mhm.
they totally got me addicted. They had, they had a takeout collection. So every day at lunchtime, they would have a curator and they
Yeah.
tell you about a piece of art. And now I feel like I feel attached to the Barnes. I look
Yeah.
at a painting like, oh, I know all about that.
Yeah, I went on a few of those too.
But the Brooklyn museums, they're sucked.
They don't do enough,
No, Adele, Ahmed?
they don't do enough video kind of things, yeah.
Yeah, theirs was dreadful. Theirs was less than
I invited.
I mean, they could have hired some junior hires to do.
Office, maybe the Zoom.
I don't know if you saw, but they got a big donation from the city for $50 million.
Yeah.
For what?
Not donation, whatever it is. It's for
Yeah,
capital improvements, so.
To improve
It's
abilities for
largely,
disability.
it's largely the audio-visual stuff inside
Oh.
the museum and also climate control stuff.
To protect.
Basically, the building is 150 years old, so they need to come up to speed with the rest of these public institutions all over the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it should make a difference.
I hope so. Yeah, I live walking distance to it, and
It should be fine.
you know, I use it like for all sorts of things. You know, like if I'm meeting a friend from out of town, I meet them there. But in the afternoon, it's just like a very big space and sunny.
I could walk up there, you know.
Oh, no, that's fine. I expect it to be
Takes me about
about
25 minutes to get up there. I live on Rutland Road, you know.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I hook up with Washington. I mean, Mina
Mina.
Yes, Mina.
and hi Max, Elite Learning.
Okay, tell him that we are now at 7:10.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to rally the troops.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. I'm Maximilian. I'm with Elite Learners. For those of you who don't know, Elite Learners is an anti-violence group in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
We're a nonprofit organization, and what we do here at Elite Learners is we target high-risk individuals that are at risk of causing violence or reacting to violence, and we try to bring a mediation and a calm rather than let the police get involved. We try to be involved in the
Good.
community and try to, mediate with our own tactics that we do have. And
Very good.
Appreciate it. And to our success, it's been working. We're located at 581 Rogers. That's between Winthrop and Hawthorne. If you guys are familiar with the PLG area, which I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
But we're right here in the neighborhood. We also offer resources to the community, housing, job placement. You know, we also have other organizations that people may want to reach out to. So we try to be a liaison between other community organizations as well as the community.
Mhm.
And we're here in full support, and we would like you guys to chime in and reach in with us so that we can get together and do some more positive, good things for the community.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
we'll lean in.
Hi,
Leave
good
your
evening.
number with Khalil. Khalil's got your number. Is Khalil on the phone?
This is
Who did
Khalid
we
here,
get?
yes. And Max, just really quick, it's great that you're here, and you know,
Yes.
you know, you can stay here as well. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't intend to go to the Public Safety Committee meeting, because
I
this is
think
the
that's where he
Parks.
wants to be.
Is this the wrong one? I mean, either
This
way,
is
I'll
Parks and
Hey,
Recreation.
we
No.
love the information. It's perfect. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure, because this is the Parks Committee meeting, and there's
Yeah.
also the Public Safety Committee meeting happening at the same time. So I just wanted to make sure you know you
all right. So with that being said, is what it is I needed to be in both meetings, so I'm trying to jump in between
Understood.
both because I do need to get in. Our organization needs to get more familiar with the Parks and Recreation as well, so that we can bring more community events together.
That
Okay.
would be great. Yes, Nicholas
sure.
Almanor is the chair for this committee, and
Okay.
I can definitely make sure to share information with you so that you can further collaborate. And of course, feel free to stay in this committee meeting as well. You also have access to the Public Safety Committee meeting link.
I do have it. I do have it.
Perfect. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
I
But stay as
appreciate.
far as
I
the-
really appreciate it, though. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Maximilian, do you use a last name? Because I'm going to put you down as attendance for this meeting.
My last name is Dor, D-O-R.
D-O-R.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Max, good work. You're saving a lot. You're saving lives.
Trying to, I mean, so far we are at, let's call it 120 days with no shootings in our catchment.
Fantastic.
So, we're just trying to keep it up. We try to employ the community, and that's the difference between having people not from the community that don't really know what's going on versus people from the community that know what's really going on. And it makes a huge difference. So, I mean, appreciate you guys for even having the Parks and Recreations for us to even reach out to really link up and, give these guys a different light.
And what do you offer them as an alternative to their
So
street
as
life, if you will?
an alternative to their street life, one of the things we do, we offer mentorship, we offer employment. So what that is, we take the young guys between the ages of that's 14 and 21, we employ them. We have a program where we run with local businesses to let them employ the youth there while we pay them.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, another call was coming in, but yeah, to let the youth work there while we pay them. But that's for them to build their work skills, build their clientele, as well as, I'm sorry, 1 second. I'm in a meeting. Yes, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so
Do you have women as well, or just?
we do. No, we do. We offer this. Our program is for boys and girls. If you guys would like to come, if you guys have some free time one of these days and you'd like to stop by, our office is open from 10 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day with live staff. We're at 581 Rogers Avenue. And from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., we
Say the
try to do
address again, 581?
581 Rogers Avenue. So we're open.
Maximilian, are you familiar with the All Stars Talent Network? You ever heard of that?
I am not familiar with that.
Oh, it was kind of a product. You might remember the name Lenora Fulani.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of the things they did was produce, have youth produce challenge shows. And it was really an anti-violence initiative, it's very still going on very successfully.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, the All Stars Talent
I think
Project. They might be a source for resources or funding as well.
Okay, talent
They're
project,
currently located right in Midtown Manhattan at 42nd Street. They
42nd Street.
have a theater, they produce mainstream theater, but a lot of youth theater too.
You know,
They go to the neighborhoods. They did a lot of work in Far Rockaway where, not much was going on out there, and they gave these kids a chance to do stuff. And
no, that's good. I'd like to implement one of those programs here where we could give, some of the kids a look at some theater, some acting.
They do audio visual stuff, they get involved, and it gives them a chance to show off their skills. At the time, it was big on rappers and break dances and all the rest,
Right. That sounds
steppers.
that sounds like a great idea. Definitely a great idea.
Yeah.
And sorry to interrupt, I have to call the meeting to order.
Okay.
Speaker just joined us. He has a very short time. I would like Julia ready to take the notes for us.
I'm doing it.
So we'd like to call this meeting to order right now at 7:17. And we want to go ahead. I think I'm going to switch the agenda a little more to get our presentation first, because our guest speaker are going to have to leave very quickly. Okay?
Okay, fine.
Adil, you on the line with us from the Black Institute.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. I'm doing all right. First of all, I just want to say,
Okay, let's go to yes.
hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, just want to see if you can hear me. So hello, my name is Adil Ahmed from the Black Institute. I just want to say thank you, Nicholas, for setting this up. I really do appreciate it. I know I'm pretty short on time. It's actually my father's birthday, and today's been a long day. We actually got our campaign through, and the bill just passed. So, but regardless, thank you, Nicholas, again for setting this up. I just want to give a quick background. So my name is Adil Ahmed. I'm the community organizer for the Black Institute. Our organization basically focuses on issues through the lens of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And the email that we sent out to the community boards, including your community board, Brooklyn 9, is basically it was a sign-on letter that was being sent to the employees of the Parks Department, conservancies, commissioner, etc., basically asking them to work together with our coalition, the Eco-Friendly Parks for All Coalition, that is asking for the implementation of Local Law 37. And Local Law 37, basically, this law was made last April, which was Earth Day. This was basically the ban of pesticides within the park system. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna get back to you. If you could just give me 1 minute, I just have to show my ticket. But you guys can continue discussing, and then I can jump right back. Is that fine, Nicholas?
Yes. So
Yes, go ahead.
I would say that the deadline for that letter, when we received the letter, was short, so there was no need. We didn't have the time to bring into the committee. Nonetheless, we are admit to come and talk about the whole this whole process in terms of the parks and pesticide. But I think this is something we should get involved in. And I think.
What is the deadline?
Oh, the deadline is passed. That was last week. He called us about a couple of days before, and we explained to him we cannot just do anything until we bring it to the committee.
Can somebody explain the local law 11? Sorry, local law.
With us. So
Hi, this is Amy. I didn't hear what you said local law 31 was. Can somebody?
Ban of pesticides.
37.
Banning pesticides, you said, in the park.
Right.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm back now.
Yeah.
So basically, this law that was passed in April, this is the ban of pesticides within the park system. What we sent originally was for the sign-on letter, but obviously, it was a bit of a short notice. And due to that, the deadline for that sign-on letter has passed. However, that sign-on letter was for the training, and the training we actually have this upcoming Tuesday, which will be at 12 p.m. It's going to be, let me just double check actually. I want to make sure I have this right. So it will be 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So Tuesday, December 14th. This will be a virtual meeting.
11 to 12? I'm sorry, 11 to when?
10:30 to 12 p.m. That's during the day on December 14th.
Sorry, did I disconnect? What was the last thing I said?
11:30 to 2 p.m.
Yes. So it's 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Thank you, though. And we will be having a nationally renowned expert, Chip Osborne, come, and basically he would provide the training. It's virtual. And basically, everybody's welcome, even though this is to the Parks Department and the Parks Department employees. We would love for as many community boards as possible, especially you guys, to come and join this training as well.
Is this like a teach-in? I don't know.
Yes, it's basically a teach-in. It's basically talking about how the right alternative to pesticide use is organic land management. And we would basically be giving the proper training needed to do this to the New York City Parks Department free of charge. Let me actually see if I could. I don't know if I have access, but I do have the flyer.
We have it posted for next week. So if you could
Okay, Nicholas, can you text me the email that I should send the flyer to?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I want to do that now.
Awesome, thank you, Nicholas. So I will be emailing this flyer to you guys. Please feel free to take a look at it, and your community board can discuss it. And you guys can also, obviously take a vote on whether or not you would like to support this kind of effort. But we would definitely love to have your support. And once again, this is not something that we are like lobbying about. This is the law, and basically the approach that we are coming at is that we want to all work together and making sure that we have the law implemented correctly. So, and I just want to say thank you so much to Community Board 9 for allowing me to speak.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Nick.
Is there any question? Where can we send question to you prior to that?
So whatever emails you provide to me, I will email it to that email. You can send me as many emails as possible. I can CC them. It's no worries. And if the folks want, they can also reply to that email chain, and ask any questions, or I can provide my cell phone number, and that way it could work out too. Or Nicholas, you can provide my cell phone number to everyone.
Yes, I could provide cell phone to people. So I'm going to text you the email for the it's
Awesome.
This question, Adil, this quick question.
Sure, Richard.
How did this pesticide law and problem, I assume, become like the top agenda item for your group?
For our organization?
Yeah, how did it, since you're presenting it to us, how did this become? Was there something happened, or was this, how did it suddenly get elevated to the point where you're on a Community Board 9 promoting this,
Well, what we want, obviously we are pressuring the city government to do the right thing, right? And we're pressuring the Parks Department to do the right thing. And really the way that we really get the pressure onto the government is by getting the community members involved. And the community board is a very significant way of doing it. When we produced our Poison Parks Report, our institute, we basically highlighted uses of environmental racism throughout the Parks Department. It is people of color and working class people that have to deal with the polluted parks and the pesticide parks.
You answered the question, and I didn't realize you produced this report.
Yes.
The Poison Parks report, which that would be interesting to see. Yeah. Could we read that somewhere?
Yeah, of course. It's on our website. Matter of fact, the email that I sent with the flyer, I will gladly attach our poison barks report as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I hope we
course.
can get back later at another meeting so we can get an update.
Of
So
course,
sorry
I
you
would.
couldn't stay today.
No worries, Nicholas. I would
So
love to
we'll-
come back and speak again.
I mean,
Hopefully not on a
we'll-
train in my office with better signal, but just let me know. I would love to work with you guys.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for your time, and we'll keep in touch. Of
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Edith, for coming. Thank you very, very much.
course. Of course.
All right, now let's get back to the agenda. So let's, I think we start with. All right, we already have a call to order, and I think we started the welcome and greetings. Is there anybody who's in this meeting who have not identified themselves? So please do so at this time. So let's go through that quickly, and then we can move through the rest of the agenda. Everybody have the agenda, yes?
Yes.
I got it.
So let's see, how many people? We have about 7 people in the meeting. Okay, who's the, this look like Naomi, but Naomi, and the 17. So will you introduce yourself, Naomi? Well, I think everybody knows each other here.
Mhm.
Hi, my name is Naomi Baptiste. I'm a community board new member. I'm a parent. My son goes to PS 221 in the community. I've been living here for
Voice is fading.
30 years, and is it?
You're becoming, you're frozen.
All right,
Am I moving around now a little bit? Let me see.
We got
Mhm.
the last thing I heard was your son attended PS 221.
Sometimes,
Oh.
Naomi, sometimes it helps if you take the picture off. Take the video off, and sometimes you get a better connection.
Okay, well, my name is Naomi Baptiste. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've lived in Crown Heights for over 30 years. One of my sons goes to PS 221 on Empire Boulevard. I'm a product of PS 221. So Crown Heights has been my area for a very short time, and I'm just glad to be here. And this is why we need more bandwidth in our area, because with my network internet, I can't control that. So if I got to turn off my video for my internet to work better, then we need to work. That's a whole nother conversation.
This is Parks and Recreation. You need to go to another committee.
Yes.
Funny that you say that, but guess what? Because you are on the community board, I'm voicing it so you, as well as myself, can go to committee as a whole. Thank you so much for being so considerate.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to roll call. Let's see who's here today from the committee. Naomi is already spoken. Amy is here. Maynard is here. Do we have Miss Pamela Amatucci present? Please note Ms. Amatucci is not here. Mr. Bender say he could not attend today, his excuse. Mr. Lubell is here. Brenda Pagan, do we have Brenda here with us?
Linda said that she she could not make it.
Okay,
We got an email from her.
oh, you did, okay. And Mr. David Romeo? Okay, and Eric Thomas. So none of these people are here. Please make a note for these members. And the representative from the Park Department, Mr. Kevin Lomax, or Mr. Andrew Newman. Is any of them on the Zoom link? Okay. Well, I was looking for Mr. Lomax to be here because that's one of the areas I wanted to cover. All right, that's our roll call. So Julia, you have the list of people present and absent. Amy,
I made a note of
you
who's,
say you can. Oh, we can hear you now because I just,
I got who's here.
okay. Amy said she could hear, she could see and hear us. But we could not hear her.
I'm connected by the phone, so I can see you. I just don't have the video and the microphone on my computer. So I hear you, see you, and now you can hear me. I'm on the phone.
Good, so we're good with
Thank you, Amy.
All right, so let's move on to the next item on the agenda, the approval of the minutes of last meeting. Okay, everybody saw the minute they were put on the website. Is there any addition, subtraction, comments, and so on before we put the minute for approval? Well, first, I think we do have a quorum from what I'm from the list there.
Can someone make a motion?
Someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the last.
This is mine. I'd like to make a motion to approve last month's meeting notes, minutes.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second, and no, second by Richard?
yeah.
Okay, Richard Bluebell seconded. Then we could vote. All in favor of approving the minutes as submitted? Please do by say, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention?
Let's go.
Seeing none, meeting got been approved by unanimously. Okay, we did switch to the next, we had the presentation by Mr. Adele, so then we could move now to public commentary. Are there any public commentary? Is there any? Go ahead. Mhm.
I make a, well, I'm not making a motion, but my commentary is, I would be in favor if someone made a motion that we signed on to, well, that we got to see the letter that they'd like us to sign on to. First, I'd like to see the letter, and then at a later point in time, I would be interested in signing on to it. But I'd like to see the letter before I say yes.
Yeah, okay, well, even though the date is already passed, but I think I do have a copy of the letter. So while we're having the meeting, I'm gonna look for it. Maybe I'll share my screen and show you what it is, okay? If not, we'll have it attached to the minutes of that meeting, of this meeting.
Okay, and I have a second item, which would have been my first item. Khalil, when I looked at the email for CB9, what I thought was missing, and you do an excellent job, don't get me wrong, but I think that an addition would be that we made some kind of notion in the email that everybody gets, that the Botanic Garden will let you have free tickets if you go and ask for them. You know, on their website, there's a place where you can get free tickets. They say that if you're in the community, they'll give you free tickets, but anybody in the world could go to that part of the website. You wouldn't know.
I'm sorry, which email are you referring to, please?
The email that you send out, you know, like once a week, the email from.
Oh, our weekly e-blast. Okay, I thought you meant a specific email. Okay, understood.
No. It's a blast. And in the blast, it says, you know, like garbage pickup rotation, you know, about the. the
Okay,
new
so
market.
you'd like for us to include the Botanic Garden ticket information?
Yeah, and now I understand that because I looked at this really carefully. Everybody seems to have sent you some kind of like a flyer, and then you guys kind of scan it and put it into the email.
Yes.
The Botanic Garden did not do that.
That's
you know.
okay. You can just post a link. If there is a website page discussing the
Yeah.
ticket information, we can just post it and that's no problem.
Yeah, if you could make it for them, because quite frankly, I don't think that you could ask them 1,000 times. I know the Botanic Garden, they're not going to do it.
It's
Because
okay.
Hey, this is Amy. I just want to add some comments around the community tickets. And full disclosure, I'm a volunteer there. I work in the visitor service booth. I'm basically the person who interfaces with the community when people come to either buy tickets or come in for free. The garden sponsors through one of the partner sponsors this year is JP Morgan Chase. And if you go to the website, if you go to, there's two ways to log in. It says get tickets. You're either a member or you're a non-member. If you're a member, you get in for free. If you're a non-member, when you get to the ticket area, one of the choices is community tickets, and you can see that it's $0. Those are free tickets. But there's a kind of a preamble when you click on that, and basically the idea is to make the garden accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't come, perhaps because cost is a barrier. So it's kind of sensitive. It's not really a blast. It's not inviting everybody to come for free. And you have to understand that it does have to charge admission to pay for certain overhead. So I suppose a lot of people, if something is free, regardless of whether they can actually pay for it or not, they would take advantage of it. And I will also say that between November and March 1st, so it's like February 28th, right now it's pay what you can. And that literally is pay what you can. You can pay anything over 1 cent to whatever you want to pay. And if you ask, say, how about free, they would let you come in for free. But it's kind of on an honor system in a way that you hope that the people who can afford to pay something will pay something. And that's with the community tickets as well. There are certainly people, I see a lot of people come in, and I'm very comfortable giving people free tickets, especially with somebody who's made an effort to come there and they have lots of kids. I just like, and kids are always free. Kids up to 12, if you're a non-member, are free. So it really is kind of community friendly, but I would just kind of put that caveat. I don't know if it's appropriate to put in the blast to say that we have free tickets, come
Amy,
fall.
I totally disagree with you, and I respectfully disagree with you. And this is why. We fought very hard for that garden. They owe us big. Now, if you have to already have a computer to get these tickets, 2, that makes you already disenfranchised. Okay?
No, people do it on their phone. Most people don't do it on the computer. They do it on their phone.
Okay.
Really quick. So I can just post generic information about Brooklyn Botanical Garden in the e-blast moving forward, okay? In terms of if they have events, membership membership fee notification, or pay what you can. I will make sure to keep that update moving forward, okay?
I appreciate it. And it's Botanic Garden, just for your information.
Yes.
Everybody in Brooklyn calls it Botanical Garden, but it's actually just Botanic Garden.
It's hood slang, I guess. My fault. That's Amy. I'm sorry.
Just mention it's the winter. The winter special. It's pay what you can, because it does end in when it opens for the spring. It's terrific that if you want to come at any day, I think they are open regardless of the weather, unless it's a blizzard.
Sounds great. So we can put
Thank you, Amy.
during this period, the Botanical Garden is making it accessible to as many as possible. And then mention the pay as you can program. Okay. All right. Any other commentary? Let's move on. Seeing none, let's move on to the next step of the agenda, which is the Liaisons Report, the Park and Cultural Institution Liaison Report. So we are, who would like to start? Because each of us at that last meeting have chosen to become liaison for specific cultural institution. Anybody, the person responsible for BRIC, do you have any report?
Rick, I think was Annalisa. She's not here.
Is she here today?
No,
She said she couldn't make it. Yeah.
she said she sent us an email.
Okay, next. Who's next?
Okay, I can say that I'm supposed to do,
All right, I think.
I'm supposed to do BAM, and I have not gotten back to them.
Okay.
I made a first, but I haven't gotten back to them.
Yeah, I was gonna move to the boarding news. Okay.
Richard, do
said
you
they
have
sent
anything
you
to
a
report
note.
on the okay, Richard had the museum
Mhm.
and that little space that's on Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll report on what I know about the museum, but you may be interested in. The museum was given $50 million by New York City. You may have seen it. Bill de Blasio was there last week. I attended the event and rubbed shoulders with him and, and some other people. There's a city councilwoman from Prospect Heights was there. The name is just escaping me, but she's really cool.
Talking about Crystal Hudson,
No,
from Prospect. You said-
Johan,
Rita Joseph?
nope.
You're talking about Joanne Simon from
Nope.
Maxwell?
She represents Prospect Heights in the city council.
City Council Prospect Heights. That's not Millie or?
Anyway, she was pretty cool. Well, this is sort of,
She didn't leave that much of an impression. You got
exactly. She's,
Because
anyway,
the Prospect had Lori Combo was the council person.
what's her name? Combo, that's her. Yeah, that's her. Combo.
You don't need to make friends with her. She's got 30 days.
30 what?
She's got 30 days. She's out of office January 1.
Oh, really? Oh, she's term limited?
Yes, Miss Combo.
Crystal Hudson's taking her place.
That's what.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Combo was, turns out she's very big in the arts, so I don't know what she's doing next, but the museum, as I mentioned earlier, has this big show on Christian Dior. And whether you like fashion or not, it's a great show. And what's happening is it's filling up the museum with lots of visitors. Where if they didn't have this show, the museum would be quiet, which it typically is on weekdays. You know, Wednesday, the museum is open Wednesday through Sunday. It's closed Monday and Tuesday. And anyway, so it's a bonus that people are coming to the galleries. Well, we should do some kind of community board day out at the museum kind of thing and promote it and get people to take joy. But,
How long is it going to be there for?
The Christian Dior is, I believe it's through January, some version of that, you know. They hired a new executive officer, like the chief operating officer, just this week. She's only a 38-year-old woman.
Ooh,
Very good. She might be somewhat controversial because she's a white woman, you know, and
Where is she from?
she's from, I believe, the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken, but it was on my Google feed today, you know, I was reading about her, popped up. But the woman who is the president of the museum is Ann Pasternak. Maybe you've heard that name. She's the one sort of has had the vision to make it more friendly to the community, more progressive around women's issues particularly, but African-American, transsexual, transgender rights, all this kind of stuff. So the museum is really in the foreground and very progressive when it comes to a lot of those.
Not really, but thank you, Richard.
Yeah, well, pretty much. In either case, they're
For
trying.
a white museum,
Yeah, they're trying to be relevant. Yeah, they're trying to be
for a
relevant.
white museum, yeah, okay.
Actually, you know, it's a sad thing. Their African collection has been down for years now. There's a big committee. They're raising a lot of money. They're going to put it on again, but it's in the wings. I got to get a report on that when
It's
coming back.
stolen art. It should not be, it should be returned.
Well,
You're talking to a CB9, you're a Black community, and you're gonna tell me about this.
yeah.
Move on.
Well,
If they're not returning it, I don't care.
Okay,
now, Richard, if may I ask a question?
yeah.
Based on what you told us, I would love to see if both of the people you mentioned, can we plan for them to come and address the community?
Oh, that's a good
I mean,
idea.
this community,
That's a good idea. I'll talk around.
and you work on that as an action item for us to
Right.
see if we
All
can
right.
get a date.
It's
for the
a future
upcoming year.
reference. Future reference. It won't happen immediately, but I'll keep it.
Which,
I'll keep it in when I'm in conversation with these folks. If I am, I'll invite them to come.
Because we can ask the district manager to send a formal request to the museum to request like we do with the Brooklyn Botanic Garden and the Prospect Park Alliance, where they are and participate in our committee meeting and the general board.
Okay.
Really?
may I comment? If you're gonna send somebody from the museum, could we have like a community service person who could, talk to us about, their events that are upcoming
Oh, actually,
or something?
good.
Because the manager is not going to be,
Yeah,
they're going to tell us secondhand, but the person who's doing these designs of these programs would
it's a
be.
good idea. There's a woman named Ajua
Yeah, vision. I think the two,
in charge of education.
both
She's
can
really
be-
good.
because I have to get an idea what their vision is for the museum, especially
Okay, great.
they just hired a new director. So I would love to hear what she has to say in terms of a vision for the museum. And
No, the director's not hired, that's a manager.
She's sort of more of
What's
the,
available.
sort of more of the business side of the museum, yeah. There's but the museum is run by a board with the president and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but
Richard,
yeah,
can I ask you, are they still doing first Saturdays?
well, that's a good question. I was just talking about that with Julia. It's been on suspension for the length of the pandemic, obviously. But they had a big party last night that was quite joyous, and it was largely a staff-based party, but it was a lot of the community was there too. Anyway, so the answer is it's probably going to come back around. Thanks for asking, Amy.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Richard on his report? And then Julia, what's the next liaison? I know Ms. Pagan is not there for community garden.
The other liaisons would be Annalise and Brenda, and both of them are absent.
I think Naomi was one of the liaison she was the liaison for the museum.
Naomi, did you have I don't have her down as a liaison.
I think she was gonna do the museum with.
Oh, no, she was going to do, it looks like I have something that says a serial presentation, CEIRAL. It's an organization. Naomi, do you have any further information? Can you help me out with that?
No, because the last thing that I remember is that I was gonna help Richard with the Brooklyn Museum and also with the Botanical Garden lights. Me and that gentleman was supposed to speak on anything that was upcoming, and I haven't received any information from him, so I don't have any idea of what you're stating right now.
Okay. And I was supposed to make a presentation. I was supposed to get in touch with the Bedford Armory presentation, but we already got a Bedford Armory presentation. So no, we didn't get one. We scheduled one. They didn't show up.
Okay.
So I think.
Well, I can say I had gotten there was a post on Facebook with that, if I may have forgotten, the Bedford Armory, where the James E. Davis Foundation
They just gave them a check.
gave some subscription for people who want to come to the museum.
No,
But I was
for
thinking
swimming.
on this point, if
For the
anybody was
swimming. It was
interested,
for
this
the
is what I wanted
swimming.
to do. I wanted to go and make a
Nicholas, I saw it. It was for the
presentation that's
swimming.
in the new. That was posted by to visit them and see how they can fully work. How could they closely work with the community board? Because you have not only the swimming, the sports area, I know there's a dance group that has offices there, plus the Jamie Davis Foundation that have their offices there. So I think I'm planning, and anybody would like to come with me to go and make a visit to this particular location and engage with each of the different area of the Major Owens Wellness Center to see how can we work further with them in with COVID-19. They did make a presentation at the general board when they didn't show up at our presentation, but I think there's a lot more that can be done. So if anyone is interested, we're going to try to put that as an action item that we could follow up on next meeting.
How would you like me to report this as an action item and you will be in charge of it?
Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely. A visit to the Major Wheeler Center to engage with the center itself and the other cultural institutions that have residency within that location.
Okay, so the Wellness Center and other.
Because there's a few other community organizations who have offices within that complex.
Yeah, because the problem with that is they're not actually community organizations. They're organizations that were from other parts of the city that have now taken up residency in our community.
Some of them are from the Crown Heights Prospect Bedford area too. Because Cheryl Bowen and Something Policies Dance Group, they have an office there. They are from this community. And the sport, especially the swimming, is being run by an organization, which is almost a citywide organization. I think they are based in Manhattan.
Yeah, what is it, Image? Okay, so you're going to get a liaison to talk to us?
Yes.
Yes, no?
The physical visit. And then
the physical visit. Okay, so, a physical visit, and you're going to set that up, or you're going to try to set it up?
If anybody's interested in coming with me, we can coordinate that and we'll do it together instead of just me.
Does anybody else want to coordinate with Nicholas about this? Okay, so Nicholas, you're going to go visit yourself,
yeah.
and then you're going to report back to us.
Absolutely.
I'll come with you, Nicholas. This is Naomi.
Okay, thank you, Naomi.
You just let me know the time and the date.
Time and date. Okay, correct. Anything else? Any other? Park and Conservation report will be a regular feature of our agenda.
Oh, okay. So I went to the Prospect Park liaison meeting. Khalil, were you there? Is that, or was Dante? Somebody from CB9 was there.
I believe
with-
it was Dante.
Okay, so the parks and the Prospect Park liaison, they were discussing that they would like to have a more diverse volunteer group. They just want more people. And they also would like to discuss with people if you would like to make a donation of a tree in memorial someone, that they are still going to be doing that. That's a new thing. The young lady who came and made a presentation, Samantha, she is not there anymore. They had apparently somewhere in the last month or so, they had to fire a lot of people because they had a problem with their funding. So a lot of people were gone, and then they're going to go back to hiring because they lost the money and then they got money back. They would like to let us know about, there's a program in the city called NYC Go. And if you go to the website NYC Go, it's primarily for tourists, but they would like to, when a tourist comes to Prospect Park, they would like to direct them, like if you're there to see the park, then you shouldn't have to go back into the city to have lunch. There are restaurants in the neighborhood that they would like us to identify so that they could be a liaison. Am I making myself clear? But a liaison to the park, so that you, I mean, I've done this and I've used this website. I'm going to a museum, and if you go to that website, you go to New York Go, and then it will tell you restaurants all around the area and various different kinds. So they don't have, it's not very robust for Prospect Park. They don't have a lot of restaurants. So if anyone would like to identify any restaurants, you could talk to me and I'll tell you how to get them involved with the New York Go.
Hey, Phil, I have maybe a suggestion. Like, I know that the pandemic shut a lot of restaurants in the area, but now new ones are cropping up. It's just almost like the theater district, maybe just direct them to an area that is like filled with restaurants. So if you don't name something by particular thing, like, Washington Avenue, Vanderbilt is like, these are our main things right near the park. And then probably something over in, what do they call that? Kensington or something in the southwest corner of the park. So just point them in that area, because if people are walking around the park, they probably wouldn't mind walking down a street that is kind of bustling and has a lot of options. So just FYI.
Okay.
A question about it, is it possible something we can do in conjunction with the business committee? To promote
You know what? That would be an excellent thing. They don't have a lot of staff, so it's not like it would be something that I would suggest for them. It's one more thing for them to do. That's why they're asking volunteers to do it. But is anybody here also on the economic committee?
The business development.
Business economic.
Is the person that's running that. I'll probably give them a call and talk to them about it.
Okay, and if they want further information, they could come back to me, and I could direct them to the right place. Okay? Can we do that?
Absolutely.
So we're directing them to Business and Economic Committee. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then that's my report for the Prospect Park Alliance.
Well, what I like to say at this point is if there is any other cultural institute
You're
you guys
breaking
have
up.
identified that we should reach out to, please let us find out so that we could establish liaison to them. I'm saying, if any of you can think of any other cultural and parks institution within the community board that can be identified, so let us know so we can reach out to them to bring them to the fold. One last question, Richard.
Yes,
You're breaking up, honey.
There was a place on Washington.
oh, I didn't check that out, no. I never checked that out.
Okay, can you do that now? I mean, like, in the-
You were,
What was the name?
Yeah.
of the place
I
again?
think it's called Brooklyn Brainery.
right, that's the one I'm talking about. Any information on that one yet?
He didn't get to it. Brooklyn Brainery on Washington.
No, it's Underhill. It's right across the street
Oh,
from the
I'm sorry.
library.
Right.
Underhill.
On there.
And what was the idea? Just to find out what they're doing?
To see if they can liaison with us, and we have something called the Field Day.
Just
and
to find
see
out
if we
what's going
can
on
get
with
them
them
to
and how
overlap.
can we interface with them? Yeah.
All right,
They have really inexpensive craft classes or information. Sometimes they're just lectures. So somebody wants to lecture on some sort of point in history or some art technique, but it's usually hands-on stuff, cooking or anything like that. So if they had like a day special, or if they want to offer a coupon or just some sort of blast for like Wednesdays at 1 or something like that, we have this class. Or I don't know, maybe they could have a promotion like that to, for seniors in the community or something like that. I don't know, just ideas.
And that was the idea with them.
Right, and then we could include them in our weekly CB9 blast, the email blast.
Okay.
You got that, Richard? Are you
Yeah, I'm
nodding
looking
yes?
I'm looking at their website right now. as we
Oh,
speak.
okay.
I'm cheating here, so they have meditation. We could all use a little of that. They have something on Cleopatra. All right, I'm not going to do it now, but it's an eclectic, a lot of cooking stuff. And as Amy said, crafts related things. Project management, printing on textiles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Let's
See,
start.
already.
I did the printing on textiles, and it's really cool. You make a stamp, kind of. You do it. You transfer a pattern, you carve it out, and then you dip it in ink. They go through the whole process, and the class is like, I don't know, 2.5 hours, maybe something like that, and it costs like $15. It's just really kind of accessible and neat, just to learn something.
Next Wednesday is the next
For the printing on textile?
block printing on textiles, Wednesday, December 15th at 6 p.m.
Okay. I'll give it a thought.
They have stuff on
You-
making
you-
wreaths,
At some time.
classical music. Boy, they got a lot of stuff.
See, now don't you want to go?
Yeah, well, maybe I have to get my own stuff on here. Let's see.
Okay.
Watercolor, bonsai plants, abstract watercolor, herbal liqueurs, making herbal liqueurs. We could all do that before we come to the community board meeting. All right, so it's a pretty cool place. I just put in
So
Brooklyn.
why don't we make some contact and then we'll talk more about them in January. And then we could, similar with the Brooklyn Museum, they could be part of the CD9 blast to let the community know what's available. This kind of activity, I would love to see if we could
It's
get
pretty
it.
cool. Yeah, it's a very eclectic, great stuff. Herbal hair care.
Mhm.
See? Okay, so
How to do a holiday rib roast.
They have a lot of.
okay, so we're closing down here. So community gardens, neighborhood parks, and green spots. There was an inventory we're supposed to do.
That's the. Yeah, well, I just want to come and talk about that now and that planification, because this is the stuff I've been thinking about for the last week or so, because I was hoping that Mr. Lomax from the Parks Department was there at our last meeting here today, but he's not here today. But I think after this, I want to reach out, because what I wanted to talk about that is for us to go and make a visit to the various neighborhood parks, like the parks you have outside
Yeah,
some of the school, like PS 92. There's the Winfield Park. A lot of them have a lot of spaces with children playground places. I wanted to speak to him to see if he could schedule for us a tour of each of these various different spaces. So what I'll do, I'm going to reach out to the district manager to reach out to him, because he's supposed to be part of his cabinet, to see if we can set up a schedule to visit those parks. Like, I live in a block where there's one such park, which is PS 92. So I visit that park quite often. There was the basketball side of the park. You have a lot of activity going there. I don't know anybody know Coach Screen. He's been doing activity in this park for the last 30 years, inviting different basketball group. He has a basketball program that invite people from different part of the city and then Long Island in tournaments. And right now he's trying to get a gym at Erasmus for the winter program. But also speak to the people that frequent those parks. They have a problem in the park where there's a lot of mosquitoes, because there's where the fountain is, there's a problem that there's a structure that needs to be fixed, because the water keep collecting under the padding where the kids play in the jungle gym and all the stuff. So I'm saying I would love for us to go.
The Prospect Park is working on the drainage for the parks. That is ongoing. All of the drainage.
Not so much the Prospect Park. We're talking about the neighborhood parks.
But I'm saying the Prospect Park Alliance, she said that all the parks have a drainage problem.
Okay, so, but I think we should be aware what's going on and see where we can put the pressure, be it on the city council person and the city director, to get the parks to be really safe and functioning for that.
Hey, so it's Amy. I had something I brought up last year to, I guess, a group, but I don't know what the follow-up was, but I noticed it again this past summer, even though there was only a couple of really hot days. I noticed that some of the parks, and I'm talking particularly about the Makiva Playground that's over by Ebbets Field between, I guess, Bedford and Franklin. It's like I noticed the water on there on extremely hot days as much as I notice it in other parks. And I think the threshold for turning the water on is 90 degrees or 90 something degrees. And if it's 89 degrees and humid, I mean, it doesn't count. I'm wondering if there could be pressure applied. I mean, this is summer in the city that sometimes kids do not leave. I mean, maybe 90 is too high of a threshold. I mean, an 88 degree day, an 80, something, I just feel like that park has water, and I don't see it, and especially this past summer, or maybe the summer before, I have not seen it turned on very often. But there is a pocket park, a neighborhood park that's on between Nostrand and Rogers called Dodger Park. It's on Sullivan Street. You're probably familiar with it, Julia.
Yeah.
That water is consistently on. I think they have a little spray thing. It's not highly used. It's kind of just like literally a street park. I don't think if you don't live on the street, you don't go there. but they have water and it's usually turned on. So again, the Makiva Playground is a highly used playground. It services a big area, and I think that it's summer, but maybe we should start thinking about that now and making sure people are aware of it.
Well, I want to look at it in a much broader way. What I was thinking, we as a committee, if we could put together some kind of assessment tool for those neighborhood parks, and then we go and visit and see to find out what their needs are, what is going on there, and what can be done, where we have to put the pressure to make the park as pleasant as possible for the people in the neighborhood. Because I think the list of the park, I think Khalid, you said we can find that on the city site to see the list of the park within that neighborhood. And then we could create an assessment tool and visit with the representative from the Parks Department, and we identify what's good, what's bad, what needs to be done, how can we make the park better and pleasant for everybody in the neighborhood. So this is something I like to propose, that we develop a park assessment tool to identify the good, the bad, and the needed for those neighborhood parks.
Do you folks know about this place? It's not a park, but it's called the Maple Street Community Garden.
Yes, that's Brenda.
Oh, that's Brenda.
And we're supposed to work with.
Edwards, or?
What's the question?
Oh, just if you've been down there, it's a beautiful resource. It's down.
Yeah, that's what she does.
When you say Brenda.
Brenda Pagan, she's on this committee.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a surprise to go over there and just walk around. It's incredible. I don't know what they're doing in the winter, but you know, they have they actually grow food that people can go and buy. You know?
Yeah,
that's right.
Right.
And then she takes it and she cooks it and she gives it away.
Yeah, and it's they got a mulching program, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's a fun little what's the word, refuge in the middle of.
That's the thing we're trying to develop as much. We're not supposed to bring us a report on that. But I'm making a proposition for us to put together a parks and green spaces assessment tool. And then we go and visit those various spaces with the Parks Department or whoever is running those things. So we get an idea of what's going on. And there are needs, so we can advocate to the various power that be that. So I'm opening that for discussion, and I'm probably going to make a formal motion for that. I will make a formal motion for that. So as one of the action items or something to follow.
You can't make a motion today because you don't have a quorum.
Right. Well, yeah, I understand. But I'm saying that I just want to put the idea out.
Yes. No, I'm just saying yes. I'm agreeing. Okay.
Yeah.
We're up to planification. What else do we need? We're done?
I think basically.
Old business. Do we have any old business?
Business is would be the family fun day. I think I want to table that again for next time. And because what I'm going to, meanwhile, behind that, I want to reach out to the values committee chair, because that particular activity is going to be, it's a combination of a health fair, a job fair, all kind of them together in one day. Music fair, spelling bee, and so on and so forth. But I think the way to work on it is to really reach out to each of those chairs, because what happened, you have the health and mental health committee, they have a health fair. The youth committee will have job fair for the youth. Arts and culture can have various arts activities, being inviting artists, music, dancing, and all that other stuff. So the idea is to put all of them together in one day in one activity. So that's what it is. So that's the family fun fair day, but I think we could expand on that next time, because.
Do you want to have a subcommittee on that? Because that sounds like a lot.
It is a lot. I'm supposed to be meeting with the environmental committee to talk about that, but I want to reach out to the other committees also to talk about that. So that way, I'll actually, the kind of
Do
committee.
you have a vice president on this committee? Maybe the two of you can do this.
Well, that's something we could both work on, okay? But I think the idea to do it is to reach out to, I would love to see not just a subcommittee, an inter-committee commission, or a committee that get all the major committee within the community board to work on this. Inter-committee group.
Naomi, would you be able to work with Nicholas on this? Because you are a board member.
Anybody else is interested?
Naomi, are you still with us?
Just give me a chance to answer. I'm still with you. I don't have an issue with working with Nicholas with this project.
Yes.
So, because I'm just saying that Nicholas is talking and it's getting larger and larger, and we keep tabling it from 1 minute to the next. It's not actually getting done. We are now in December. We are now 9 months away from this event.
Right, I'm
And
committed by next meeting to really get a lot of advance on that. I already have a meeting scheduled with someone with the chair of the environmental committee to talk about it. I'm going to be looking and speak to each of the other chairs about that.
Okay.
Welcome.
Okay, if the two of you could coordinate so that you could do this, because it's not actually moving.
No, it's not.
We keep talking about it, and we need to be moving.
Moving by the next time we meet in January.
Yes.
Okay.
We need to have, because if it's getting bigger and bigger and we're doing less and less, I'm not loving it.
Absolutely, so do I.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay, so that was old business.
Mhm. Are there any new business? All right. Seeing none. The motion to adjourn is proper, since we didn't have a quorum, we cannot really vote on everything. So then what we'll do, when we meet next January with a quorum, we'll vote on the various action items. Meanwhile, let's talk to each other and see what we can do to move on some of the major ideas we talk about. And with that, I would like to wish everyone the best for this festive season. Some of you with Christmas and so on and so forth. So the motion to adjourn is in order. So somebody please.
You want to second it?
Yeah. Is there a second for motion to adjourn?
All right, have a nice holiday season. Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Okay,
Take care. Thank you for appearing.
thank you. Okay. All right, thank you, Kylie, for helping us going to this meeting.
Of course, no problem. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Oh, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.